Well, dive right in. Obviously, very, very disappointed with last game. Just all the elements affected our play, our energy, our effort, our toughness, and we've got to rebound in a big, big way. Not necessarily winning, but getting back to playing the way that you have to play to win in Big Ten play because we were certainly not at our best in a variety of ways. So we had a good practice yesterday. I think our guys recognize it, and we move on to a very, very important game against Penn State. I was watching the Nebraska-Michigan State game, and they had a graphic that popped up on the TV with the standings, and I took a deep breath, and I said, okay, maybe things aren't that bad. We're still in good shape. We've just got to learn from that game and move on.
Was there anything that stood out to you rewatching the film that maybe wasn't evident initially?
Not really. I felt bad during it. After watching it, it felt worse. Watched it again this morning at 4:30, and it felt worse again. So I probably need to just stop watching it.
As far as rebounding, it was one of the areas of the strengths for your team, and obviously early on, Illinois pretty much controlled.
I thought the physicality of everything that they did affected us in that area. Maybe it was cutting, maybe it was posting up, attacking in transition. I thought all of it, they physically manhandled us, and they carried over to those other spots.
With Jordan, I know teams are very physical with him, and obviously he's got to play through it. What's the next step for him to be able to handle that moving forward?
He knows how to handle it. He's been in the league. Everybody in this league does that. They've been doing it to him for 3 years, so he'll be fine. He's just got to get back to playing good basketball.
Are there any issues or trends in the defensive efforts that you guys have had in losses?
I think there's issues with everything in our 4 losses. If you had told me after 17 games that with Dupree's situation, Eric Curry's injury, that we'd be sitting at 13-4 with quality wins over Nebraska, at Wisconsin, and the wins that we had in the non-conference, I'd say, okay, I probably wouldn't feel awful about that. But it's been the way that we have lost that's been demoralizing. And I think it just comes down to when the ball doesn't go in the basket, it's affecting our energy on the other side. And that's probably the most consistent thing that we got to get better at, and we got to get tougher, and we got to get over the fact that the ball doesn't go in, and we just got to move on, and we got to understand what it takes to win on the road in this league.
Obviously, the energy part, I'm sure that's a collective mindset that you want everyone to have, but does it have to start with someone if it feels like it's not there? Do you need to have someone initiate that?
It's got to be everybody. It's not one guy. I think it's a collective deal from, every player on the roster. It's not one guy.
How have you seen the players respond?
I'm sorry?
How have you seen the players respond?
I think they recognize it. They see it. I don't think they're pointing fingers. Everyone that I've talked to has said, I got to do better. It wasn't one of those, pointing fingers at on the road or what. No. I think they're upset about it, and I think they feel disappointed in themselves. I'm certainly am with all of us. So I think it's a great opportunity to come back versus Penn State, and regardless of win or lose, play the right way.
You said last week that you want to see Amir be more aggressive and attacking. Did you I'll say, how he tried to attack and make those moves in Illinois? It might not have been effective, but did you like his effort trying that?
Yeah, I brought him in yesterday. We watched all 13 shots, and I probably only had a problem with one of them. They make you attack. That's what they do. They force you. They deny everything, and they force you to make plays at the basket. He was trying to get some foul calls. Maybe a couple of them he did get hit, but it wasn't. That's not the reason we lost the game. So he was 2 for 13. It wasn't his best night, but he's been pretty darn good the other night. So I'll ride with him any day.
With the rotation center with Daniel and Eric. How's that been since Eric's been back, and how do you think that Daniel's kind of progressing?
Yeah, I mean, very, very talented player Daniel is, and what's exciting about him is he's still very, very raw, but he's producing, because production is important. But he's still got a ways to go, and and he wants to learn. He wants to win. He competes. It's just an understanding of how to do it at the college level. But 17 games in, he's been pretty darn good.
I know just you put Eric in, try to put him in there as early as you can. How has he kind of progressed with more responsibility? I know this is the first half offensively. He tried to help out when Murphy and Danny were out.
Yeah, he's been good, slowly but surely. It's he's not going to be ready 100% right away. That's going to take some time. But I like what I've seen from him. Certainly it's just going to take time when you're out for that long. But he did some good things.
Is there a specific area where you think Daniel's grown the most this year?
I think he's pretty good offensively, scoring the basketball. He's been pretty good rebounding the basketball. Normally with freshmen, from a talent standpoint, he's got that. It's little things like ball screen defense, blocking out, defending without fouling. Those are things that he's got to get better at, but all young people do.
Penn State relies on some freshmen as well, and obviously they've got some returning players like Lamar Stevens and Mike Watkins. What have you seen from that group? I mean, they haven't won a Big Ten game yet, but
and Josh Reeves. I don't look at the record. It's still so early. I know Illinois had only won 4 games, and listen, I'm not trying to defend us. We played like crap, so we don't deserve any praise. But that's a good team. When you watch that team, you sit there and go, okay, that team's going to win some games. That does not excuse the way that we played. Penn State's the same way. They're a good team. They're a well-coached team. They're a very good defensive team. They've got good talent. They've got a good identity of how they want to play. They've just found a way to lose a couple games. But it's still a long, long season. We still got 2 months to go.
Do you sense that the guys are excited for a Saturday night game and to get out there and show that what happened at Illinois isn't a representation of what you guys are?
I hope so. I'd rather a Saturday at 2 game, but that's all right. I think it's anytime you can play at home. Saturday night's pretty cool. I mean, it's I think a good time for fans to get out, and hopefully we have a great crowd. The key to this, getting to where we want to get to is games like tomorrow, because our fans are great, but they need to understand we need them every game. And however many home games we have left, it is crucial with the students coming back and everything that we have great crowds, because that's as big of an advantage as anything we have.
Anything else for Coach?
All right, thank you.